For over 150 years, the story has remained the same. A single, clumsy cow kicks over a lantern in a cramped barn, and the entire city of Chicago burns to the ground. It's a compelling piece of folklore. It's also a complete fabrication. To understand how Chicago actually burned, we have to look at the state of the city in October of 1871. It was a booming, densely packed metropolis. A severe drought had turned the region into tinder. Winds were blowing steadily from the south-southwest. Most dangerously, 90% of the city's infrastructure, right down to the roads and sidewalks, was made entirely of wood. Focusing on the spark ignores the structural reality. Chicago's design made a catastrophe inevitable. The actual fire ignited on October 8th at 8:30 in the evening, inside a barn at 137 DeKoven Street. From his post in the cupola of the Cook County Courthouse, watchman Matthias Schaefer spotted the flames, but he misjudged the distance. This map shows the watchman's fatal error. He signaled box 342, sending exhausted firefighters a full mile away from the actual blaze. While the engines raced in the wrong direction, the fire multiplied, quickly swallowing the surrounding blocks around DeKoven Street. The heat generated massive convection updrafts, called fire devils. These swirling columns of air lifted glowing embers high above the streets, dropping them past natural fire breaks like the Chicago River to ignite the opposite bank. Systemic incompetence and extreme weather had breached the city's defenses. The inferno was moving faster than the department could react. For 36 hours, the fire marched through the city, consuming the central business district and incinerating the waterworks, leaving thousands to flee toward the lakefront. The disaster only stopped on the morning of October 10th, when the first significant rain in months helped extinguish the embers. Roughly 3.3 square miles of Chicago were flattened, 300 people were dead, and 100,000 residents, a third of the city, were homeless. In the wake of this trauma, a desperate public began searching for a scapegoat. Catherine O'Leary was the first target. Anti-Irish prejudice made her a convenient villain, and newspapers quickly published the story of her cow kicking a lantern. Decades later, the reporter who broke the story admitted fabricating the narrative entirely to sell papers. Other theories blamed neighbors like Daniel Pegleg Sullivan for dropping a pipe, or local boys gambling in the barn. None of these claims could be proven. Some looked even further away, suggesting that fragments of a disintegrating comet had rained fire down from the sky. Supporters noted that on the same night, massive fires also broke out in Wisconsin and Michigan. Modern science dismisses this connection. A comet fragment large enough to ignite a region would create a massive crater, not localized fires. These theories provided a simple narrative in a moment of total civic failure. Blaming an immigrant or a comet shielded city leadership from the reality that their wooden roads and a broken alarm system were the true catalysts. Today, the historical consensus is that the exact spark that lit the barn is irrelevant and likely forever lost. The fire was the result of a fatal triad: an extreme weather anomaly, combustible urban planning, and misdirected civic services. This destruction cleared the way for a radical experiment. Architects replaced the wooden past with fireproof steel and the world's first skyscrapers. Eventually, the city acknowledged its errors. In 1997, the Chicago City Council officially exonerated Catherine O'Leary and her cow. Today, the site of the O'Leary barn is home to the Chicago Fire Academy, where firefighters train on the very ground where the disaster began. Tidy myths like a cow and a lantern offer a convenient focal point for trauma. The 1871 fire demonstrates that disasters are the result of fragile systems, built and ignored until the weather and the heat align.